In 1971, the Booker Prize was won by V.S. Naipaul for his book In a Free State. Now, when I ordered this book, Amazon actually made a mistake and sent me 2 copies of it, when I, of course, only ordered 1. But I gave the second copy to my brother and said, hey, let's both read it at the same time and we can talk about it. That discussion ended up being very brief, as we both decided early on in our reading experience of this book that it wasn't very good and that we didn't like it, and we were surprised that it even won the Booker Prize. When you actually look into it, the judges announced on the 1971 Booker Prize award that they were giving the award based on the best writer and not based on the best book, which makes sense because V.S. Naipaul is an internationally acclaimed Trinidadian British writer. He's won the Nobel Prize. He has some iconic books under his belt. This just isn't one of them. I think the reason they gave him the award is the decade before he had written A House for Mr. Biswas, which was a celebrated, funny, masterpiece. And so they gave him the award because of that acclaim and not based on this. Because this sort of just reads as a worse Heart of Darkness, but it doesn't have the same spirit that makes Conrad's work such a classic. He's said that he based the dialogue in this off of Ibsen, Henrik Ibsen. He's this, I think he's Norwegian. He's a playwright. I personally don't see that at all. The dialogue's just very sort of dour and the story's very threadbare. There's also a mishandling of a homosexual character who's sort of just turned into an offensive cliche. Didn't care for that either. And it's a shame because V.S. Naipaul is a fabulous writer, but I would say if you're going to read him, read A House for Mr. Biswas or A Bend in the River. Don't read this. This is a total skip. And this isn't the only time that they've done this. They also gave Ian McEwan the Booker Prize for Amsterdam, even though it's one of his worst books. And it raises the interesting question, should a literary prize be awarded based on a whole writer's body of work, or should it be specific to whatever they've published that year? It's up for discussion.